Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Yoga with Dave. Thank you so much for joining. We were just saying a minute ago, I'm so happy that it's a little bit cooler today. Practicing yoga when it's hot, or doing anything when it's hot, it's tough, isn't it? So now the temperatures have come down a little bit. We can get back into our practice. And if you did practice on Monday and Tuesday, then well done. I know that I practiced, but it was very, very gentle. And listening to what your body needs is so important, isn't it? Which is what yoga is all about. It's just listening to what you need on any given day. What I thought we'd do today is we'll revisit just having a look at the spine, because a lot of us, obviously, as we age, we really begin to feel this tightness or sometimes pain in our spine, and yoga is absolutely amazing for the spine. There's a tradition of yoga called Kundalini yoga, and in Kundalini yoga, the Kundalini yogis are obsessed with the spine, obsessed with it. They're always talking about the spine, talking about moving it backwards, forwards, side to side. They're thinking about energy as you move the energy from the hips up to the crown of the head. We kind of use the spine to do that. But just overall, if you feel tight, if you sit a lot, if you wake up in the morning and you've got this dull ache in your lumbar spine and your lower spine, this practice will serve you so well. And the nice thing about it, even though it's a slightly longer class today, than you would normally do in a spinal series, it's 45-minute class and as normal. But in a spinal series of yoga, you could do probably 20 minutes. And in those 20 minutes, you can really release the spine and energize yourself and set you up for a good day. So that's why I recommend doing it when you get out of bed in the morning, when the body needs it more. There's that tendency, isn't there? When we get out of bed, then what generally happens is that we'll get into this pattern that isn't very helpful to us. You put the kettle on, nothing wrong with having a cup of tea or coffee, don't get me wrong, but probably then start looking at our phone, and we start going down these rabbit holes, don't we, where we're not setting up in the right way. If you're one of those people that needs to get out of bed and rush into work, then try and go to bed a little bit earlier and then get up maybe 20 minutes earlier than you normally would, and fit 20 minutes of yoga in. And honestly, you will shift the way that you think and you will shift the way that you feel. And that's the beautiful thing. If you've got longer, and you're not at work, or you work part-time, or you've retired, then again, just bringing these patterns in is fantastic. And morning's beautiful. That's kind of where the magic happens. But practicing yoga any time in the day, it's great, isn't it? I find this time, 2:30, this is when I usually have a dip, because I get up in the mornings and I practice, and then my energy is high, and then I have this dip. So this sort of thing's really important, isn't it? Drinking plenty of water, especially during these hotter months, and just kind of like just working out what the body needs, finding that nourishment and that positivity. And that means that even though when we kind of walk through life and we're always going to get challenges, of course, it means that probably we'll face those challenges a little bit more grace, and we don't catastrophize and everything becomes like, we've got our yoga to fall back on. So that's where I am today. So hopefully you'll join me in doing some of this spinal series. I'm just going to set myself up. And funnily enough, what we'll do, even though we're working on the spine, is we will start by lying down. All right, so please find a lying down position. I'm just going to turn the comments on. Good afternoon to you, Irene. Always here, Irene. Always nice to see you. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. All right, so the view's nice. Make sure you got some water by your side, and then just lie down on your mat. So any way you want to do that, lying down, just come to lie, and then bring your feet nice and wide. Bring your arms nice and wide. Bring your back of the head down onto the floor, and then maybe you just have a little wriggle around here. So maybe just wriggle through the fingers, wriggle through the toes. Just take a few deep breaths here. So just getting into your physicality and getting into your breath. And that's all we're doing. We're just paying attention to the breath. We're paying attention to the physical body. Make any little movements here through the hips. Maybe you think about, remember, like last week it was, where we were thinking about the lumbar spine and pressing the lower spine down into the floor. See if you can do that now. You have this kind of natural bow here. See where my hands are? So our spine is kind of like curved, isn't it? So if you press your spine down into the floor, then you'll feel the activation here, right here, right in your belly. Nice. Beautiful. And then from here, just begin to move the body a little bit. So hug your knees in towards your chest or your belly. You can grab around the knees or the shins. You can be here, or you can be here, and then just rock the spine side to side. You can do nice big circles. Beautiful. Think about how your head rests on the floor. Think about your shoulders. Do they feel relaxed? So try and avoid this. Do this where the shoulders are super relaxed. And then bring your feet down onto the floor. You can keep the arms by the side, or you can just lengthen the arms out. I haven't quite got enough room here, so I'm going to bend into my elbows. This is like cactus, or the arms can be straight like this. Drop your knees over to the right-hand side. Inhale to center, drop your knees all the way over to the left. Nice. Inhale to center, exhale to the side. Inhale to center, exhale to the side, and then just move like that 2 or 3 more times, or 4. I'm going to do 4, everyone, because I'm feeling good. Just dropping the knees down, getting into the hips, getting into the spine, and then bring your knees all the way back to center. Bring your hands down by your hips. Bring your soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall open. And then just feel this release through the inner hips. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you can always be here. You can cross the legs. So you've got this option, or you can just lengthen the legs back down the mat. So either soles of the feet together, crossing the legs here, or lengthening the legs down your mat. Wherever you found yourself, I invite you to bring your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly, and then just breathe deeply into the hands. Deep, rich inhales. Full release and exhales. Deep inhale. Full exhale. You can have the eyes open, or you can just soften the gaze or close the eyes altogether. A couple more rounds like this. Nice deep belly breath right into the right hand. Full exhale, let it go through the nose or mouth. And then one more like that. Deep expansive breath. Full releasing breath. Beautiful, nice. And then release your hands, bring them onto your outer thighs. Encourage your knees to come back together. Hug your knees in towards your chest, towards your belly, and then just rock out just a couple more times. Beautiful, really nice. And then from here, just roll over to one side. I'm going to roll over, and then you're going to come to a seated position. Beautiful, everyone. Really nice work. Come with your legs crossed. This is Sukhasana, or easy pose. And then bring your hands onto your knees. Inhale the chest forward. Exhale around your spine. So you inhale as you come forward, and exhale as you come back. Nice big circles here. Sufi grind. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Get into this nice rhythm. And please don't worry about which way you're moving, because you're going to get an opportunity to go the other way. So this is the start of the spinal series. And if you're interested in this series, then drop me a little note on Facebook and I'll send you the sequence. It's not always the same. Today we'll mix it up a little bit. Or remember, these videos, these recordings are available online on the Virtual Village Hall Facebook page. If this feels too much, I bend quite a lot into my elbows. You can be here and you're a little bit further up, so you can do really little circles, just circling the hips. Inhale forward, exhale round. Inhale forward, exhale round. Nice. Then think about your hands. So look, if I remove my hands from my knees, I've still got the movement. There's not a lot of kind of weight in the hands. Beautiful. When you're ready, come all the way back to center and then just swap it out. So come the other way. Inhale forward, exhale round. Inhale forward and exhale round. Beautiful. Nice, everyone. See if you can use a little bit of intention in the breath. So inhale as you come forward, exhale as you round your spine. Inhale as you come forward, exhale as you round your spine. Beautiful. Nice. Just a few more complete circles. Final time, inhale, exhale, and then come all the way back to center. Nice, really beautiful work. Now we're going to do quite a lot of seated poses today. So what I'd like us to do is kind of mix them up in between, just so we're not sat here for a long period of time where we get really, really tight. And then suddenly all of your attention is just going on how tight you feel in the hips and the spine. So we're going to move in between quite a lot. So come onto all fours and then spread your fingers out. And then we'll come into a pose which is all about the spine, cat and cow. So spread out through your fingers, get a nice amount of length through your arms, stack your wrists right underneath your shoulders, or maybe the wrists are slightly forward of your shoulder. You can see only very slightly. Take an inhale, drop your belly down, lift your head and your heart. Exhale, round your spine. That's your movement. This is your inhale. This is your exhale. Inhale, exhale. And just get into your own rhythm. Go at your own speed. And matching the movement with the breath. If you feel a little bit overwhelmed by the breath, don't worry about it too much. It will come. A couple more complete rounds. Nice, beautiful, deep rich inhale. Come back to center. And a full exhale. Beautiful. Split your knees wide. Bring your big toes together. So you might just look down in between your knees and then see if you can do this. Draw your sit bones back onto your heels and then just relax the body down into the floor. Right, so maybe you bring your head all the way down like mine is, or you can always bring your head here and rest it on your hands, or you can do fists, or rest it on your forearms, or if you've got a block or a pillow, any prop that you might be using. Breathe super, super deep here. Fill your body full of air. Feel that nourishment within your body. Beautiful, nice. So again, we're concentrating on the spine and thinking about the hips. All these are connected. You know, we feel tight in the spine, we're probably tight in the hips. So take one more deep inhale. And the full releasing exhale. Then press into your hands. Pull yourself back to a tabletop position. Let's get into the legs a little bit. So just step your right foot back, press into your toes. Feel that activation from your right fingertips down into your right toes. So all the way down the right-hand side of the body. And then we'll do the left side. Hopefully you feel this in the calves. Can feel good. And then we'll come back to a seated position. So feel free to take a drink at any point in the class today. I'm going to take one. Staying well hydrated at the moment. Beautiful. Now we're going to do a spinal flex. So we've done super grind, you know, where we've done sort of like circles, and now we're going to move the spine backwards and forwards. So it's a simple movement, but sometimes it kind of, the brain takes a little bit of time to catch up with it. So again, when we think about the amount of pressure that we're on the knees when we did super grind, hardly anything. You know, the movement's coming from the navel. And it's the same thing here. I just hold on to my front shin, inhale and exhale. So I inhale forward, see my spine gets nice and long and my heart center comes through, and I'm keeping my shoulders super relaxed. And then I exhale and I round the spine. So it's a little bit like, you know, that cat-cow movement we just did on all fours. It's that kind of movement. But everything else, as you can see, stays pretty steady. So my head's not moving. My hips are not moving a huge amount. And then we just match the movement with breath. Inhale forward, exhale round. And I'll show you what it looks like from the side. If you can't quite get a visual and you're thinking, what is going on? It's this movement. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So just get into that. Get into a nice rhythm. And we'll work on this together just for a few minutes, or maybe a minute or two. You don't have to be as fast as me. You might just inhale, exhale, but you should feel this in your lumbar spine, right low down. You can always close the eyes. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Nice powerful breath if you can find it. In and out through the nose if it's available. Try not to tense through the face. Try not to tense through the neck. Keep it all super relaxed and have a little bit of fun with it. Experiment. Be kind of curious about what's going on. They might feel like strange movements. You might not have done them before, but they'll serve you so well. Simple stuff this is. You just move at a rhythm that feels appropriate for you today. Just a little bit longer. Take a nice deep inhale. Bring your heart center through, so forward, and elongate the spine. And then a full exhale. Nice. And then bring your hands out. Bring them slightly behind your hips. Lean back into your arms. Lean back into your hands. Bring your feet nice and wide. Drop your knees from side to side. So just like we were doing when we were lying on our backs. So just dropping the knees down to one side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side. Beautiful, beautiful work, everyone. Isn't it lovely when we just experiment and move the body? And we're trying to do that with, without any judgment. We're trying to do it where we're like, it's a curiosity more than anything. We're not defeating ourselves. It's not self-defeating. It's just discovery. We're going, okay, how do these things feel for me today? They might not feel great, but that's okay. You just work through whatever it is that you're working through. You don't hurt yourself, obviously. So you be kind to yourself. So yeah, you might be limited in what your body can do sometimes, but that's okay. It's all right. We try and concentrate on the things that we can do, and that's the empowering stuff. All right, come back to center. We'll do one more thing, and then we'll come back down either onto our floors or onto our backs. Let's see how we get on. So this one, the hands are back on the knees. This is really simple. Inhale your shoulders up, exhale your shoulders down. What could be simpler than that? So it's inhale up, exhale down. So you really drop the shoulders. So you inhale, you wear the shoulders like earrings. You exhale, you relax the shoulder blades down the back. So with this one, if you close the eyes, concentrate here, right in between the eyebrows. Where the focus is, that's where the energy is going to rise. Stay nice and relaxed through your jaw. So you can either carry on like this, or you can do one shoulder at a time. As you bring one shoulder up, you relax the other shoulder down. If you're doing both, great. If you're doing one at a time, a couple more times on the side. And then everybody relax your shoulders down. Beautiful, really nice. Then we'll come to lie back on our backs. And then as we do that, because we've been sat for a little bit of time, hug your knees in and then just lie back onto your back. And then again, anything that feels good. So maybe some big circles, little circles. Maybe you separate the knees a little bit. That can feel good. Bring some movement into the body that your body wants. Don't think about it. This is a lot of it. It's about intuition and just going with the flow. You're not trying to make it look a certain way. Beautiful. Nice. All right. So we think about the spine. So we're strengthening the spine here. We're bringing flexibility into the spine. Let's bring our feet onto the floor. But when we think about our core, we usually think about our belly and we think about, it's all about getting a six-pack. I don't know why I did it in that voice. I've got to get a six-pack, Dave. It's not about that. So when we think about the core, we think about the front of the body, the sides of the body, the back of the body. So it's the trunk, isn't it? It's this area. We want to strengthen all of this area. So we want to bring strength into it, We want to bring flexibility into it. They're the main things that we're doing today. So let's do this. Think about your lumbar spine again. Be really relaxed on your mat. So don't push anything down or engage anywhere. Bring your hands. Can you bring them underneath your spine? Is there that natural gap? Then release your hands. Then press your spine down into the floor. So now think about the crown of your head all the way down to your tailbone. And then think about each of your vertebrae lined up down your mat. Can you count them? Probably not. But you imagine you're imprinting each vertebra down into your mat. So there's that engagement. Then see if you can lift your feet off the floor and keep a bend in the knees. So your spine is still super engaged here. So you should feel something here at the navel or just below. Then make a basket grip and then bring it behind the back of your neck. And then as you do this, keep your activation through your spine. So you're pressing it down and then press your shoulder blades right down into the floor. So your elbows are pressing down and then you're really pressing the shoulder blades down. So you should feel that activation through the shoulders, activation at the belly, and then breathe deeply here. Take a deep inhale, full exhale, and then on your next inhale, just raise your head. Now you're not pulling the head up with the hands, you're just using the basket grip just to support. Nice. So you don't have to come up far. Make sure you've still got that connection, and then maybe just rock from side to side. But don't worry, we're not going to do a lot of core work here or anything. Maybe you want to lengthen out through one of the legs, and then you can lengthen out through another leg. See if you can do that really slowly, if that's what you're doing. If you really don't want to do your core work, that's fine. You can just drop down onto your mat, bring your knees together, and walk the feet nice and wide. Come into constructive rest. As you do this, maybe lengthen one leg, and then you bring the opposite elbow to the other knee. So now lengthen out through the right probably, and then bring right elbow to left knee. Couple more times. Just move across the body. Nice. Come back to center. Bring your hands back down. Bring your elbows back down. Bring your shoulders back down. And then slowly lower your feet back down onto the mat. Press all four corners of your feet into the mat. Relax your spine. You can release your basket grip. Bring your hands down by your hips. And then if you haven't done this already, or if you've done it, you can come back into it. Bring your knees together. Feet are nice and wide, right at the edges of your mat, and come into constructive rest. Let it all go. Just breathe deeply. Loads of room to breathe into the body. So that's thinking about here. It's thinking about the belly, thinking about your lower spine, thinking about the sides of the body. Beautiful. And then separate your knees. Hug your knees back in towards your chest. Nice. And then you can do this if you want. Bring your hands back down and then just begin to kick out through the heels. Nice. So you might bring a lot of relaxation. You can make that basket grip if you want, just to support the head. Or you can bring the head down like this and you just lock up. But here, you're just kicking the legs. You're just flexing at the knees. And the more you relax the legs, you might not, but you might get to a point where the heels kick onto the glutes. So you get this nice little massage. Nice. Have a little grin on your face. It's a good one, this. Speed it up a little bit. Beautiful. Slow it down. Hug your knees in. Roll to one side and come back to a seated position. Hey, really nice work. Fantastic. All right, so here we are seated, and then we're going to carry on. So we've twisted the spine, haven't we? Or sorry, not twisted. We've made circles with the spine, Sufi grind. So we've kind of moved here. We've gone into the sides of the hips. Then we've built the energy up by flexing. We've been in cat and cow. So we've done a lot of stuff already. What we haven't done so much is move from side to side. So this is a really nice one to do. It can be done any time in the day. Bring your left hand down. So left hand's just by your hip, spread out through your fingers. And then on your next inhale the right arm over to the left. So this is your movement. Then as you exhale, the left arm over to the right. So you just swap it out. So you'd feel this really beautiful stretch down the side of your body. So a lateral movement. So it's inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Just let your head go with the movement. And again, if you're really slow, that's cool. You might be here, You might be here. You know, you might go even slower where you're here. And then you're here. So whatever suits you today. We're all going to get an opportunity to pause on one side in a moment. So either moving quite dynamically or moving slowly from side to side. Keep it going. Nice powerful breath if you can find it. Beautiful. Next time you inhale, right arm over to the left. Pause here, but keep breathing. So think about from the right hip all the way up through the right hand side of the body. Try and work with a nice engaged shoulder, arms straight, or you can always bring a bend. And then maybe you're here, maybe you want to come down onto the forearm. You can be halfway down. For me, it's all about keeping these sit bones or the hips nice and neutral. So I don't want to do this. You know, when you come right over, to make sure this right glute presses down into the floor. Maybe look beyond the right armpit. That can feel nice if the neck feels okay. Nice. As you exhale, come to the other side. Notice the differences, or maybe you feel perfectly balanced today. Beautiful. Really nice. Come down as low as feels good for you. Maybe turn the gaze. Press the left sit bone down into the floor. Spiral the chest open. Breathe into the side of the body. So you're just sending those nourishing breaths here. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, come back to center. Beautiful. And then just give the body a little shake out. Maybe shake the shoulders, roll them a few times, whatever feels good for you. And then we'll do one more posture here, seated for now. So maybe uncross your legs and then bring the other leg in front. Have a little wriggle around, get nice and comfortable. If you want to sit on a blanket, remember, you can do all of that good stuff. So you make yourself as comfortable as you can in between the postures. So we're going to bring the hands onto the knees. And we're just going to do something really, really simple. Inhale the head to the left. Exhale your head to the right. Inhale left. Exhale right. You've got it. Always inhale left. Always exhale right. And maybe you just soften your gaze or you close your eyes completely. Check in with your jaw, check in with your face. Make sure everything's super relaxed. Couple more times either side. And then when you're ready, inhale, come all the way back to center. And a full exhale. Beautiful. Really nice work. All right, back onto all fours, nice and slowly. Just transition there. And then what we're going to do is just going to flow a little bit through a couple of rounds of sun salutations. So to get there, tuck your toes under, lift your hips, and come into downward facing dog. So in this first one, we won't be here for long. We'll take 3 breaths, a deep inhale. Full exhale. Keep a generous bend in the knees, especially on this first one. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And then one more time, your deepest inhale. And your fullest exhale. Beautiful. From here, walk your hands back. So now you're going to find yourself in a standing forward fold right on the back of your mat. Keep your hands on your knees. So we're not even attempting to come into too much of a forward fold. Bring your weight into your toes. Then you can bring your hands down, or you can place them on your shins, or you can place them on your calves, or you can grab on opposite elbows and then just breathe deeply here. Deep inhales, full exhales. You can have a generous bend in the knees. You can straighten the legs, but don't put too much strain into your body. And then from here, bring your hands down, bend deeper into the knees, and then just simply roll all the way up. Come to stand for the first time. Beautiful, really nice. I'm just going to move my mat. So if you need to make any adjustments with your mat, we're going to sweep the arms backwards and forwards a little bit and from side to side. Then feel free to do that. Give yourself plenty of room. How does that look? That looks all right, doesn't it? Beautiful. All right, bring your feet up right to the top of your mat, and then have a look at your feet. Have a little adjustment of any of your clothes that you need to. And then your feet want to be lined up with the long edges of your mat. That's the main thing. You know, what we don't want to do is we don't want to stand like this. Because if you stand like this is probably quite a natural way to stand, but it throws the hips out. So this is how we stand, you know. So we really begin to bring awareness into the feet, which might not sound a lot. And you might be like, oh, mate, really? All of this alignment stuff? But if you do the Pilates classes with April, she talks a lot here, doesn't she, about stacking. So we think about the hips that are stacked above the ankles, and then we think about the shoulders, which are stacked above the hips. So we're looking for alignment. Not that yoga has to be, you know, like, oh, it has to be perfect, because not all of us are like that, are they? So we just do what we can do. But alignment is kind of important. So we don't want to be kind of here. Oh, we don't want to be here. We don't want to be sort of hanging out where the body is not engaged. So bring your palms forward. Bring a little bit of length in the back of your neck. So this is Tadasana, mountain posture. It's a beautiful posture. There's a lot going on. It's not just about standing. Nice. Then from here, bring your hands to heart center, and then just sweep your arms up into the air. As you exhale, forward fold. So hinge at the waist and then come all the way down. Do that nice and slowly. Keep a generous bend in the knees. Take an inhale. Maybe a bend in the knees is still here. Lengthen your spine. Bring your weight into your toes. And then exhale, forward fold. Then from here, take an inhale. Sweep the arms up nice and narrow. And then exhale, bring the hands to heart center. So we're just inhaling the arms up like this today. You know, usually we go like this. We go wide, but let's practice doing it just a little bit narrower, because when we are in restricted spaces, this is a really good way to do it. If we're in a busy yoga class, for example. All right, so from here, take an inhale, sweep your arms up, find length, press into all four corners of the feet. As you exhale, hinge at the waist, keep a bend in the knees, come all the way down. So the reason we bend in our knees is we don't want to strain the hamstrings. Take an inhale, sweep the arms back up. And then take an exhale, bring your hands to heart center. So we're just going to work like that. I will be quiet apart from just doing the cueing on the breath. All right, let's go for it. Inhale, exhale. Inhale halfway. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right. Just on the inhales and the exhales. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Work with your breath. One more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then hands just by your side, back into Tadasana, and then just breathe nice and gently here. So there, we're just getting used to, you know, moving the body and moving with breath. Yeah, so it's like, sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming because we're like, do this with the body. Now breathe like this. And you're like, what is going on? But if we can just begin to bring these simple movements in, then the breath nourishes us, but it guides us and it sustains us in between the postures and when we're in the postures themselves. So it's kind of important, the breath. If I used to have a yoga teacher who used to say, if you're not breathing, it's not yoga. So, but we don't want to make it to the point where we're like, we put people off because we're always talking about the breath. So let's move through 2 rounds of sun salutation A, which you've probably done a lot of times before. We'll work with the nice narrow arms instead of sweeping them wide. And let's see how we get on. So this time we'll bring our hands to heart center, back in your Tadasana. Take an inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, come into a forward fold. Inhale, draw length into the spine. Come up halfway. Exhale, bring your hands down. Step one foot back and then the other. And then just take an inhale here and lengthen into your first plank. Then as you exhale, be nice and kind. Drop your knees. Keep your elbows tucked by the side of your body. lower all the way to the floor. So you'll see, if you can keep the elbows tucked in, your chest becomes kind of long and it comes through the hands. Then from here, press the tops of the feet to the floor, take an inhale, keep the elbows tucked in, come into a cobra, look at my elbows, they're not here, they're tucked right in. My tops of my feet are pressing into the floor. Then as you exhale, come to all fours, spread out through the fingers, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. Nice. Breathe deeply. Nice deep inhale. Full exhale. One more like that. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. Bend your knees, hinge your hips, up between the hands. And then I invite you to step up in as many steps as you can, or maybe just do this. Step your right foot up and then your left foot. Line your feet back up, remember. Reverse it all. So take an inhale, find length. Exhale, fold deep. Press into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms high and wide. And then exhale, hands to heart center. I'm laughing because I've been talking all the way through going, we're going to narrow with the arms, but it's so built in that I sweep my arms high and wide. And that's what I did. All right. So this last one we're going to do, if you want to go narrow, if you want to go wide, I'll leave it up to you. All right. Let's go again. One more time with the breath. Inhale up. Exhale, fold in deep. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands down. Step it back. Nice and fluid. Take an inhale to find length. Either drop the knees like I did on the first, or keep the elbows tucked in. Lower all the way to the floor. Take an inhale, engage the pelvis, the feet, roll the shoulders back, lift your heart center. Ooh, beautiful. Exhale, either to all fours or do this. Lift straight into downward facing dog. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 3 breaths. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Keep a generous bend in the knees if you need to. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And then one more. Deep inhale. And your fullest exhale. Beautiful. Bend your knees, hinge your hips. Look between your hands and then come to the top of your mat. Maybe in 2 or 3 steps. Maybe 1 step, whatever works. Take an inhale, find some length. Exhale, fold deep for the final time. Press into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And then exhale, frame your hands to heart center. And then just breathe here. Maybe you just do this. Bring your left hand on your heart, your right hand onto your left hand, and then just breathe deeply. Beautiful. Really nice. When you're ready, just step back. So you're in the center of your mat, and then we'll just kind of move the body from side to side. So we'll do this a little bit formally first of all, and then we'll do it informally. So I'm going to step back just so you can see my arms a little bit more. Inhale, sweep your arms up, clasp the hands together, and then just bring your index fingers out. So your index fingers are out and then your thumbs are crossed. So that's your mudra, that's your little hand position. Inhale to find length. Exhale, bend over to one side. Inhale to find length. Exhale, bend over to the other. Line your feet up. Make sure that your feet are about hip distance apart. Nice, simple movement. Inhale, exhale to the side. Inhale, exhale to the side. Beautiful. Couple more times. Just bring that length into the body. And then come all the way back to center. And then you can just float your hands down. Give your shoulders a little shake. You know, we've done this a few times. And then we'll just move by swinging the body before we come to lie down for final practice. So this is just getting anything that you need out of the body. So you can bring the right hand on the heart, inhale to the left, and then just swap it out. Exhale. Feel free to move the feet. You can always lift the heel of the opposite hand. So as one arm goes back, the other leg just comes into a little bend. So the right arm's back, the left foot lifts. Just come up onto the toes. Or just make it your own, you know, just do anything that feels good. You might just be working when you just swing the arms like this. That can feel nice. Just a little bit of fluid movement. Beautiful. A couple more times either side. And then when you're ready, one final shake out. Shake the fingers, shake the toes, shake the arms, shrug the shoulders, and then we'll come to lie down on our backs. Nice. So just find that final resting position. As we lie down on our backs, I'm going to read to you when you're in your Shavasana. I hope you don't mind. It's a really lovely passage from this book from Melody Beattie, Journey to the Heart. This is the book that I will read from. There we go. So get super, super comfortable. and then we'll just read this little passage together. Nice. Maybe close your eyes. So it's just entitled A Meditative Journey. Go deeper into the forest. Walk among the trees. Down the winding dirt path strewn with rocks and wood chips. See the lizard dart across your path. Listen to the birds chirp. Hear the rustle in the bushes. Walk down the path until you come to the quiet pond. Sit for a while and rest. When you're ready, walk to the edge of the pond. Look down into the still waters. What do you see? At first, just water. Then gradually, a reflection emerges. It's you. It's your life. Gaze peacefully into the water, into the reflection of your life. See that it has been just as it should be. A lifetime of events causing ripples of love, peace, and healing. See that it is now just as it should be. The people who are gathered around you are there for a reason. The people you had visited were not without purpose. The lessons you have learned are yours forever. You are right where you need to be. Gaze into your reflection in the quiet, the deep mirror of the pond. Gaze until you see that, know that, feel that. Gaze long enough to see the truth, the peace, the contentment, the divine order. Sit around, sit down, look around the forest, taking its beauty, taking its wonder, its shimmering emerald leaves, the tiny white wildflowers cropping up everywhere, the delicate surprises that bring joy. Inhale the smells, the fresh growth, the musk, the smell of cedar and pine. Inhale and breathe deeply until the breath of life fills you with wonder. Let it flow throughout you. Let it saturate every cell. Peace, contentment, divine order. You are safe. Your forest is your friend. It tells you that all is well. Look around. See the tallest tree. See that it's weathered every storm. And millimeter by millimeter, ring by ring, it's continued its growth over centuries. Know that you have grown that way too. Rise slowly when it's time. Find your path. Feel the earth beneath your feet, supporting you, giving you strength, filling you with grounded energy. Walk down the winding path through the glimmer of sunlight until you reach the edge of the forest. Nice. From here, just begin to bring a little bit of movement back into your body. Maybe wriggling out through your fingers and your toes, your ankles and your wrists. And then maybe you hug your knees in towards your chest. Nice. And then from here, just roll over to one side. And then we'll find ourselves back in a seated position where we started the class. I've got a watch mark. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. It's been really nice to practice with you all again. It always is. We'll bring our hands to heart center. Just rub the hands together, create a little bit of heat. And then we'll just place the left hand on your heart and then your right hand on your left hand. And then just bow down towards your palms. Thank yourself for practicing today. Thank yourself for turning up. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been really nice practicing with you again. Have a great weekend. Remember that you can catch up with any of the content on Virtual Village Hall at any time. There's a huge amount of videos out there, a lot of content that you can just dip into. So if you're feeling low, if you feel like you need a little bit of meditation, I know Max has done some fantastic stuff as well on there. And if it's not yoga, if it's not yoga related, again, there's so much there. So check it all out. It's free. If you want to donate to Virtual Village Hall, go on the Facebook page and you'll find details. Very simple to do. But if not, I'll see you all again next week. Maybe I'll see you in the week, but I don't know that you're there. And any questions, put them on Facebook, and I'm more than happy to answer any of those questions. All right. Keep nourishing yourselves, people. Keep loving yourselves, and I'll see you all next week. Bye now.